This is from the State of Play. The reason I wanted to watch from the State of Play is because it includes footage of Yoshida. So I wanted to see that. I actually haven't seen this yet, and I realize I am extremely late at watching this, but I've been pretty damn busy, and it's been pretty hard to get anything done. And this time, I'm actually going to be posting this footage on the main channel, because last time that I covered Final Fantasy XVI, I put it on the alternate channel. Actually, I put it on like this Final Fantasy channel that I was working on, which never mind that. But I'm putting this on the main channel because 16 is going to be a game that I will play on the main channel. I'll either live stream or play the entirety of it and then do like a let's play edited, kind of like what we did for Elden Ring, something like that. But most likely I'm probably going to live stream the whole thing, because I'm super excited about 16. And I'll tell you guys more after we watch this, but let's get started. Let's see what this is all about.
世界中のゲーマーの皆さん、こんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー16プロデューサーの吉田です。長らくお待たせいたしましたが、いよいよファイナルファンタジー16の最新情報をお届けする日がやってまいりました。最新のトレーラーとともにインタビューなども始まりますので、ぜひそちらも楽しみにお待ちください。今世界には本当に様々な困難があります。僕らゲーム開発者にはゲームを一生懸命作るということしかできません。ゲームというエンターテインメントを通じてゲーマーの皆さんが心の底から楽しめる時間を提供していきたいと思ってます。それでは最新のトレーラーをどうぞ。
Let's go, Yoshi-P! Yoshi-P the GOAT. In a world ruled by tyranny and turmoil, there are those who would fight to take back control of their fate.
Who are we? What are the dominants?
Damn.
The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us. That its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The Eikon.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Oh man, that combat looks hella good.
All of Valisthea into the abyss.
Ooh. Fucking spicy.
The dominance, that we may bring an end to the strife, and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow. If I take the field, our duel will shake the island to its foundations.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
Dude, I'm so goddamn hyped!
Awaken, child of fate. Awaken, Ifrit.
Dude, this is gonna be so good. This is 1,000% gonna be so good. Is that it? This is
And that's a wrap.
Yeah, good. It's a good thing that you guys ended here, because that was the best thing that you possibly could have shown. And the whole, like, I watched the whole presentation, and as far as I can tell, this was the only thing that really mattered. I think they updated the website as well. So we have Final Fantasy XVI here. Legacy of the Crystals has shaped the history for long enough. It's coming out summer 2023. So that's going to be next year, around summer, around this time. And let me tell you right now, my plan is to stream the whole thing in my channel if I can. Some people in this channel might be wondering, Rurikhan, why are you so hyped for 16? Like, you know, did you like 15? I thought 15 was all right. I didn't think it was anything like too special. Like, I did play a decent chunk of 15. I thought it was pretty good. But when it comes to 16, obviously the reason I'm excited about it is because of Yoshi-P. Like, for those of you that are not aware, in case you haven't, you know, heard me say this yet, Final Fantasy XIV was the best story I've ever experienced in any form of media. That means books, movies, video games, whatever. The Final Fantasy XIV story trumps all of that. It is that good. It is that good, okay? And not just the story, but the gameplay is also really good. And considering that this is basically being made by the same team that is currently working and maintaining Final Fantasy XIV, especially after the Endwalker expansion, god damn, what a fantastic expansion. It's like there's no doubt in my mind that this game is going to deliver hardcore. Like, even if you're not a Final Fantasy fan, if you've ever wanted to try a Final Fantasy title and for some reason you don't want to try 14 because it's an MMO, it's whatever, I've talked about that at length, but like, if you want to play a Final Fantasy title, and the only reason you've never played one is because 14's an MMO or whatever, or you didn't like the other ones, like, this is the one. This is the one for you to dive in. At least as far as I'm concerned. Because, like, look, I have full confidence in this team. This team is friggin' amazing. So, yes. And they have, like, I believe that they have developers from... I believe they have developers from Capcom that, you know, they left Capcom and they went to Creative Business Unit 3. I think it's like one of the people that did combat for Dragon's Dogma or something like that, which is really, really cool because Dragon's Dogma is another fucking fantastic game that I highly recommend. But yeah, we have the world here. This is going to be high fantasy. So you know how sometimes Final Fantasy games, they tend to mix together like sci-fi stuff and high fantasy stuff. This one's going to be mostly high fantasy, at least that's my understanding of it. Eikons are dominance. The Eikons are the most powerful and deadly creatures in Valisthea. These are basically your summons. Each resides within a dominant, a single man or woman who is blessed with the ability to call upon their dread power. In some nations, these dominants are treated as royalty in admiration of this strength. In others, they are bound in fear of it and forced to serve as weapons of war. Those who are born as dominants cannot escape their fate, however cruel it may be. Grand Duchy of Rosaria, Empire of Sanbreque is like, look, we could talk about all of these, but it's not like you're actually going to be picking a faction or something. These are just factions that exist. But it's like, I can't wait. I just can't wait to jump into this. This is going to be completely and utterly insane. And dude, the trailer was so incredibly cinematic. I actually wanted to watch the trailer again because there were a couple of things that I wanted to check out, particularly with names. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Got to make sure that you put in your age. Got to make sure that you put in your age so that you don't watch anything that you shouldn't be watching. So does this one actually go higher than... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Let's go. Because, like, the State of Play one was not particularly... You could barely see a lot of the stuff that was happening. I'm going to be pausing it this time a little bit, though. Your ability to get hyped by trailers is endearing. See, Tredian, I disagree with that. I'm not hyped by the trailer alone. I am not hyped by the trailer alone. I'm hyped by the trailer and the fact that this game is being developed by Creative Business Unit 3. If this game was not being developed by Creative Business Unit 3, my hype would be probably half, if that much. I might have not even be hyped at all, to be honest. It's like you can say that, oh, you're getting hyped by the trailer. No, the trailer is good, but the reason I'm hyped is because of the team that is developing this game. It's like, for instance, if you get a trailer for a new game by From Software, do you get hyped because of the trailer itself, or do you get hyped because you know that you can trust the team that is working on the title? That's the thing. You know?
dominance.
Let's lower the volume even more. So that when I pause it, it's not like super egregious.
It breaks us. It unmakes us. That it's immaculate.
Looks really good. Is this Bahamut?
Aspect
I think that's Bahamut.
itself. The Eikon.
That's Titan.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Every day we delay brings us closer
Imperial Lancer
to disaster.
versus the player who is level 18. Like, look at how cinematic this whole thing is. And we have, like, we currently have Phoenix selected, I think. We can press L2 to select Garuda in order to do something different.
We must move now.
Okay, this is actually proper combat. You got precision dodge there, precision counter. You got Phoenix, shift, attack, jump, and fire. So fire, probably fire spell, I would assume. I don't know what Phoenix shift is going to do. Does that mean that currently we have another one equipped? Then we got jump. You're going to have to press R2 to jump? No, I guess if you press R2, it'll change. You got potion, high potion, strength tonic. So the D-pad is going to be used for consumables. Iconic strike will break. Holy shit. Scarlet Cyclone. Did he press R2? Yeah, looks like he probably pressed R2 there, I would imagine. Let's go frame by frame. Burst shot. What is he, a friggin'... Is he wielding a gunblade for burst shot? Burst shot again. Okay, this is a different combat sequence. Dude, look at that. Scarlet Cyclone, Rising Flames. Will break, iconic strike.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
Look at that juggle. Level 33 using Garuda.
And
it looks like Garuda is what enables you to juggle, because like you can see those green abilities active, I think. This is Tummy Giggles. Thank you very much for making Giga Blazar grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. That's total 6 gifted subs. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. And it would make sense that Garuda... Oh, he shifted to Titan in the air. Because, like, look at that. You got the Garuda stuff, and then as he goes through, he shifted into Titan, and now he's got upheaval and windup. I'm assuming he's doing upheaval from the air. Ooh! Fucking slam it down in their fucking face. Dude, glorious. Look at that. Big fucking numbers everywhere. Good shit. Wait, why was he using a spear there? Heaven's Cloud, Arm of Darkness. Who's this? This is not Titan. Which one's this? I mean, you got Ramu, Odin. This is Odin. Is it a multiplayer game? No, it's single player.
I unite the dominance, that we may bring an end to the strife, and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
Dude, the combat is so incredibly flashy.
If I take the field, our duels shake the earth.
If there was one thing that I would like to see in this game a lot, would be like, you know how most Final Fantasy games, they're fairly linear in terms of like the story? Okay, the story goes like this, boom, done. I would like to see a couple of player choices, and I would like it to not be as linear. Like, has there ever been a Final Fantasy that is not mostly linear? You know? Because like, I haven't played that many Final Fantasy games. I'll be real, I haven't. But most of them happen to be pretty much linear. The ones that I know of, at least, they've always been linear. Imagine Yoshi-P actually breaking that mold and going like, no, shit's going to change. Shit's going to change based on your decisions as a player. It doesn't even have to be too much. It could be a couple of subtle shifts, a couple of subtle changes. I think it would be really cool, but we'll see. I don't think that's going to be the case, by the way. I would imagine this to be pretty linear as well.
Island to its foundations.
Shiva looks awesome. Bahamut, Odin, Ifrit, Phoenix, Icon of Fire. The fuck do you mean Icon of Fire? Like, is there anybody that's going to be like, I don't know who this Icon of Fire is. I wonder if it's Ifrit. Is that a corrupted titan? Oh, dude, look at that shit. That was Ifrit, by the way. I almost thought that looked like Phoenix because it goes so fast. This is Ifrit right here. Yeah, I remember this because like the first Final Fantasy that I ever played was Final Fantasy VIII, and this was the move that Ifrit would do. He would go up in the air and then just like pound a big rock, big explosion whenever you summon Ifrit in that game. Jesus. Liquid Flame? Like, dude, anybody who knows, who's like a big buff of Final Fantasy can probably get so much more information out of this than me.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home...
Mega Flare, Bahamut versus Ifrit. Dude, I kind of feel like a Mega Flare from Bahamut would probably obliterate Ifrit from the face of the earth.
that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
It looks so fucking good, dude. Common Garuda literally blew his arm off. One of the problems is that in my screen, it's so dark that I have a hard time making out fine details. So you're talking about here? Garuda blows up Ifrit's arm? How can you... Okay, yeah. Oh, it does fall. Holy shit! He wasn't using it really. You know, he wasn't really using it. Let's be real. Garuda goes like, you weren't using this, were you? Boof. I hope there's a movie like Final Fantasy XV. 1000% disagree. 1000% disagree. All of the media that was around Final Fantasy XV actually took away from the game, because in order for you to understand all of the bullshit that was happening in the game, you'd have to like, okay, listen, gotta watch this movie, gotta watch this multi-part series on YouTube of animes. And then I believe there was even stuff that, oh yeah, there was the special episodes which came after the game. It's like, dude, they segregated that fucking story so much that I can barely remember what the fuck happened besides Noctis being sent into the future and then coming back to the past to save everybody else. And then Arden actually being the good guy or something like that. I don't fucking know. It was weird, dude. That's the problem when you start getting shit too convoluted. I don't think that's a good idea. Because like, listen, especially as someone who, used to be really invested in World of Warcraft, one of the worst things that you can do is to put significant story out of the video game. Like, it's, if you want to do a piece of media that is not required to understand the story that is in the game and just adds to it, that I feel is fine. The problem is that most of the time, like a lot of the story writers, they end up thinking like, oh no, dude, I'm going to make all of these crazy references. People will have to watch it in order to understand. I think that's fucking dumb. No. I want to play the game and I want to see the story in the game. And I don't think that they would do that because if you play through 14, you'll get the whole story on 14. And I think they're going to do the same thing for 16. To be fair, you didn't have to really watch any of that to understand the story. Yes, you did. If you wanted to fully comprehend the story of the game, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Like, you would, if you just played through the game, you would have never even known that Prompto used to be a fat guy. And that's one of the reasons. Is it Prompto? I think it was Prompto. And that's one of the reasons why he's so insecure throughout in the game. You wouldn't have that context. What do you mean? You definitely had to watch that shit. Didn't they already say 16? Like, listen, this is just, we're just talking about hypotheticals, right, Kyle? Because, like, knowing what I know of Yoshi-P and his team, like, there's no way that you're not going to get a full story playing this game. There's no way. Yeah, Kingsglaive I also thought was pretty important if you wanted to fully understand the motivations of characters. Which characters, not any of the main ones? Wasn't Arden in Kingsglaive, if I remember correctly? Arden's in Kingsglaive. Noctis's dad is in Kingsglaive, which, you know, explains to you the reason why Noctis has to go away, which the game does a piss poor job of doing. Like, there's a lot of characters, and even, like, the characters that then show up in Comrades, which, again, there's also story in Comrades that you're supposed to do. Like, there's tons of stuff. There is tons of stuff. There's tons of stuff in both the Glaive and the series before, and I'm happy that this is being handled by Yoshi-P, because Yoshi-P is not going to dick around, is not going to dick his player base around like that. So yeah, point being, anything that comes out on 16, you can expect me to do content on it, and you can expect me to play the entirety of the game over on YouTube for sure. For sure, dude. It's like it's guaranteed. Because, like, one of the things that I regret was not being able to play the entirety of 14 on the main channel. I wish I had done that, because that would have been so good. But then again, you know, unfortunately, MMOs don't have as much crossover as I would like with the usual stuff that I tend to do, which is why we have the two channels separated and stuff like that. But yeah, 16 is going to be awesome. You heard it here first. I mean, you didn't hear it here first, but I fully expect the game to be fucking amazing, and it's the best thing that they showed in State of Play.